This is a battle in the Use It and Lose It tournament, the Battle of Sarai, between Nervii and Pontus. Nervii, nice and forested map this. Nervii has 4 levy free up front, 2 Celtic warriors, a main line with 4 Oathsworn and 2 fierce swords, cavalry, 2 mighty horse, 2 light horse, 4 Celtic slingers. A very nice Nervii army, I think. For Pontus, we have 2 Cappadocian cavalry, 1 on each flank. We have a Pontic Royal Cav General, Hillman on the flanks, 3 mercenary Scythian horse. We have levy pikes up front, backed up by Pontic swords, mercenary naked swords, Pontic swords, Hillman, and that's it for Pontus, aside from 1 chariot that I can't see yet. Looks like it's hidden, which is a good idea, to not telegraph that you're bringing a chariot early on. So Nervii wins the cavalry fight, Nervii wins the infantry fight straight up. Pontus wins the cavalry fight, but of course the infantry support from Nervii is going to be a problem. The cavalry of Pontus much superior, the Cappadocians are much superior, but then again these mighty horse are not going to be fighting alone. They are going to be fighting alongside the mighty levy freemen, and that's a problem. These slingers could very well screen away all of these mercenary Scythian horse archers. A few slinger units is all it takes. 125 range versus 150. Nervii pushing up here aggressively. Pontus is the faction that has to engage because Nervii has the skirmish advantage. A sneaky chariot here could be great, but there are so many precursor javelins able to wreck the chariots. And here is another sneaky unit of Cappadocian cavalry that needs to pull away if it doesn't want to get levy freed in the face. 2 units actually. Maybe the chariot is there as well. So the hillmen are moving in and eating a lot of precursors. This is good use of hillmen. They're getting charged by cavalry, so they baited a lot of precursors here. Levy freemen chasing away the Cappadocians in the forest. Hillmen got wrecked, but when you have a chariot on the field, getting out precursor volleys is very, very useful. So levy freemen doing their thing, screening away these mercenary Scythians. Looks like the mercenary Scythians were firing at the levy free, which is a bit weird. Another unit of hillmen about to get charged by Oathsworn. You know how that's going to go. Looks like the Celtic warriors turn their backs now and just run back to their lines, which is the smart choice considering they were up against Pikes. The Oathsworn chasing away the hillmen. Mighty Horse managing to tie down so many units of Cappadocian cavalry. The Pontic Royal Cavalry for some reason doesn't charge the Oathsworn, and the Mighty Horse didn't kill anything, but it sure did the hit point damage. And it sort of messes up the charge from the Pontic Royal Cavalry. Now, Pontic Royal Cavalry into Oathsworn do not like that, but Pontic Royal Cavalry do not like getting hit by precursors. They lost a lot of hit points from that. Moving on the flanks of Nervii here is Pontus, holding the center with Pikes, now pushing with the Pikes, but they're actually pushing past the Oathsworn, so now there are Oathsworn units in the back. But look at this, scythe chariots in the forest. Now if the Oathsworn are engaged, which they will be, this scythe chariot is going to be able to wreck the Oathsworn. So let's see what happens. The levy pikes drop due to the intense fire from the Celtic slingers, but the Pontic cavalry is getting dismantled on the flanks here by the good charge by the mighty horse, and then getting ground down in melee by fierce swords and Oathsworn. So the chariot rolls in. The chariot does not, however, go for this isolated Oathsworn. The chariot instead goes for the Oathsworn unit that had precursors available. So the scythe chariots lost 2 men, a lot of hit points, losing another man. 3 chariots are down, and they essentially haven't been able to do anything yet. But this is a dream blob for the chariots. The problem though is there are so many precursors here, and the chariots get a lot of kills, but they just get wrecked by precursors. And look at the kills on the chariots here. They're going to go up to 200 kills in the blink of an eye, essentially. And here come the mercenary naked swords. This is a great charge by the mercenary naked swords into the blob of glory. 300 kills for the chariots now. And the mercenary naked swords pick up the slack, do a lot of damage. The side chariots might get stuck here now, but they are still dealing damage in this blob. Still getting kills. Very, very dangerous. Even when they're routing, they're going to be getting kills. So 360 might reach 400 kills now if they are lucky. But it's not looking good for Pontus on the flanks. It's not looking good for Pontus in the rear. The chariot is off the field, and even though the naked sword charge was glorious, the Pontic swords are not going to be able to hold out here forever. These two Cappadocians though, sandwiching the mighty horse, killing it. The Pikes rush in to support the fight. They need to they need to charge in basically in order to be effective here. But look at all of these units routing here. Mercenary naked swords, 135 kills. Pontic swords, 70 kills. Heavy shot could happen for the mercenary Scythian horse. But nope, they are instead going to get precursored in the face by 2 units. And they drop quickly. Very important units for Pontus to have in the late game. There are so many Oathsworn units left here. The naked swords are now fighting together with Pikes, which is nice for them. Levy Pikes pushing up here, but they are they don't even have their Pikes out, so they're not going to do well at all. But the Celtics get destroyed by this blob of units. Trying to screen with some Levy Pikes here against the Oathsworn, but the Oathsworn could just charge in here because the Pikes are not down. That is a problem. The Oathsworn general took a beating from the chariot, but he's still alive. No heavy shot is being sent his way. The Pontic swords getting 100 kills is nice for Pontic swords. The mercenary naked swords are going to get the charge against the Oathsworn here. And the Oathsworn general needs to be a bit careful in this engagement, because if he gets tangled up on the Pikes, he's going to be losing a lot of men. But the Pikes, once again, they're doing weird stuff. And the Celtics could just flank the Pikes. And in the forest, Pontus is just losing cavalry, losing Pikes. I would be very surprised if Pontus could bring this back, because there are quite a few Oathsworn units left on the battlefield. The Oathsworn here doesn't really care that he's fighting 3 units at once. He just keeps being Oathsworn and keeps beasting it out against them. Mercenary Scythian horse moving up very closely now, using heavy shot into the backs of the Oathsworn. It's going to absolutely devastate the mercenary naked swords. They have 170 kills now, a testament to just how dangerous that unit is when used at the right time. So now the Oathsworn unit is dropping, fighting Pikes, being under intense fire. But it's going to be able to break these naked swords probably, and also the Pontic swords. Nice charge by the horse archers against the Celtic slingers. The Oathsworn is losing, but it's not dropping insanely fast. Now the Celtic warriors rush in. The Pikes try to push, but they haven't learned how to. It got removed from Leonidas in the recent patch of Arena. Mercenary Scythians charging in, causing a few casualties to the Oathsworn maybe. Doing some hit point damage. Yeah, a few casualties. Being pulled out, losing men on the disengage, but look at all that Nervii has left here. There's just no way for Pontus to bring this back. The chariot was misused a bit. It should have taken on that Oathsworn unit and then gone into the other one. Going head-on into units with precursors is very dangerous for the chariot. If this unit blob had just given attack orders on the chariot, I don't think it would have even made it to them. So we have 4 minutes left for some odd reason. It would be insane if Pontus was able to bring this back, getting a charge in with the Royal Cav, eating precursors, and that Cav unit is essentially off the field. All 4 Oathsworn units are still alive. Not healthy, but still alive. And just a few cav units for Pontus. One Pontic sword here for some reason. That was that hasn't been used in the battle yet. That was weird. But it's still going to lose to these Oathsworn. It could precursor the general to death, and it did just that. But it's going to lose to these Oathsworn very, very heavily, even though these Oathsworn are depleted. Headhunt being activated to kill the Pontic swords quickly. And yeah, even though they probably killed the general there, they're just going to be ganged up on by Oathsworn and completely destroyed here. There's just no way. But I'm quite interested to see the kills here. So the chariot, even though it was used the way it was, 379 kills, a testament to how dangerous they can be. Mercenary Naked Swords, 172, got a great charge, but once again the Oathsworn just carried the day for Nervii. And these Cappadocians didn't perform as well as you would like units of this price range to do. Also Pikes, I try them sometimes myself, but it's very hard to make Pikes work. So good game, strength and honor.